Hi folks, looking at a jar of Speculoos cookie butter, and this is a cookie spread. It's made with oil and sugar and cookies, and it's made by Trader Joe's, and this stuff is very popular, especially well, not just especially, but pretty much worldwide. Now, I'd never even heard of this stuff a couple of weeks ago, but my wife heard about it from some people in the Philippines, and they wanted us to get some for them. So I looked into it, and it's not even that hard to make. So we're going to do a recipe on it, but I want to show you a couple of things first. Now, cookie butter is Trader Joe's version of this Biscoff European Cookie Spread. Biscoff invented this whole idea, and you can buy this stuff more or less anywhere. This more or less you can only get at Trader Joe's, but this can be had at most supermarkets, I guess, would have it. I bought this. Now this costs $3.65. The Trader Joe's cost $3.65, and the Biscoff brand, I paid about $4.65 for it. So there's a difference in price, but there's also some other differences, and I'll show it to you. Now, this is the ingredients for the Trader Joe's, and there's quite a lot of ingredients. There's no hydrogenated oil in there, thankfully, but there's a lot of stuff in there that, you know, makes me kind of wonder. So it's not as wholesome as I'd like it to be. Now, this is the ingredients for the Biscoff brand, and it really seems a lot more simple and with less preservatives and stuff in it. So I think this is, I don't know, in my own mind, I think this is probably healthier. Not that sugar and oil mixed with cookies is particularly healthy, but out of the two of them, I think this one is probably a better choice as far as that's concerned. But you can make your own too, and then you know exactly what's in it, so that's what we're going to do. So these are the ingredients that we need to make cookie butter. And the recipe actually calls for Biscoff cookies, but I don't have any, and I've looked at a few recipes online, and you don't need to use Biscoff cookies. So what I'm using here are actually ginger snaps, and I've got 24 ginger snap cookies in there. And then here I've got 1 tablespoon of sugar and a pinch of salt, and you're going to need a ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. If you don't have coconut oil, I guess you could use all vegetable oil or canola oil, but coconut oil really is called for in the recipe. And then you need a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon, and then you need 1 tablespoon of skim milk, and that amount is more or less depending on the consistency you want. So the first thing you want to do is grind up the cookies into a powder, and we're going to use this little chopper to do that. So we've got the cookies all powdered up in here, and the next thing we're going to do, we put them into this food processor, and the next thing after that is we're going to add this coconut oil, and we're going to blend this up until it's well mixed. We've got the coconut oil and the powdered cookies mixed together, and now it's time to put in the rest of these ingredients. So we're going to add the salt and sugar, and then we're going to put in a half a teaspoon of vanilla, more or less. And this is 1 tablespoon of milk. It's supposed to be skim milk. And then we need to put in a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So we put that in there. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And finally, we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of canola oil. So it's 1, 2 teaspoons. Now it might need a little bit more milk, it all depends. So let's mix this up and see what happens. You're going to probably need to scrape it down. And keep processing it until it's all really super duper mixed together. And it looks a little dry to me. So we're probably going to have to add a little more milk. I added more milk because it was too dry, so now we're going to keep blending. And we're going to keep stirring it up. Although it's starting to look pretty good at this point. I don't think I need any more liquid. We got all that coconut oil in there, plus the canola oil. And probably altogether I probably have 3 tablespoons of milk in there. That'll depend on you though. So it's all blended together now. Looks like it has a pretty good consistency, so we're going to taste it. Here we have a little, and I'm going to taste it. And that tastes pretty good. Now, it doesn't taste exactly like this one, and I've never tasted this one. It's not quite like that one either too, I'll bet, but it's pretty darn good. Now we're going to measure it up and see how much we got. So here we have it. This is our homemade cookie butter, and made about 1 cup. Now if you're a kid and you don't have a lot of money to spend for presents, you could make this for your mother or grandmother or your friends even, I suppose, and put it in a jar, put it in the refrigerator, and then when you're going to give them a present, just wrap it up and let them give that to them for Christmas. I think it'd make a decent Christmas present, I really do. Now, it doesn't taste exactly like this one or like this one, but it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good, and nobody is going to complain. And we did use ginger snaps, and that's not the only kind of cookie we could use. any kind of very, very hard cookie, or you could use also the Biscoff cookies, and that'd be more like the real stuff. But that's really about it. Thanks for watching.